Hello, everybody. This is your daily real estate practice exam question. So let's jump right into it. How does a constructive eviction occur? So we're referring to leases, we're referring to a landlord tenant relationship. So the question is, how does a constructive eviction occur? A. A landlord obtains a court order to force the tenant to vacate a leased property. So, something that we have to know in a constructive eviction. So, there's two different types of evictions. There's constructive, okay, and then there's actual eviction. So, there's constructive and actual eviction. When a landlord is asking a tenant to vacate a premise, okay, that is going to be, in most cases, actual eviction. It's going to be what, if you talk to a lay person and said, the someone is being evicted, they would be like, okay, the landlord is seeking to remove the tenant. Okay, a constructive eviction is actually the reverse, is where the tenant is evicting themselves on the basis of the landlord violating the warranty of habitability. What happens is when you enter into a less than freehold interest, meaning you're in a leasehold interest, okay? So you're in a less than freehold or leasehold interest, the landlord, who is basically relinquishing a portion of their bundle of rights, like the right to use, the right to occupy that property, okay, the right to enjoyment. What they're doing is they're basically giving the tenant, okay, or the one receiving the lease, the lessee, okay, they're giving them the rights because they hold the lease to take over for a certain period of time, or potentially indefinitely if it's a tenancy at will, the a portion of the bundle of rights. What a constructive eviction is when the warranty of habitability of the property has been violated by the landlord. The landlord, in a less than freehold estate interest, must make sure that the property is suitable for human habitability. Okay, and that's a broad stroke of the pen, so it could cover a lot of things, like making sure that there's proper heat, cooling, that there's a proper roof, there's proper shelter, all those types of things that one would anticipate having when you're talking about a habitable space. So let's review the answers. Ready? A landlord obtains a court order to force the tenant to vacate the property. We already said this is not going to be a landlord doing any kind of removal. So they're wording it in such a way there that that is not going to be our answer. B, a court officer forcibly removes the tenant automatically. This is another one where the tenant is being removed from the property and they are not the ones removing themselves from the property. So a court officer forcibly removes. No, not an answer. Okay. C, a tenant declares a landlord in default and vacates the premises. Bingo. Step one in a constructive eviction. Okay. Let's see D just to make sure. And here's the thing, if you see the right answer, do not stop. Keep going. D, a landlord declares a tenant in default and takes possession of the leased premise. Again, this is basically a version of A and B, okay? They're just rehashing and rewording it differently, so it's definitely incorrect, okay? So the correct answer in this one is most certainly C. Have a great one. See you tomorrow, guys.